Axe Giant. The Wrath of Paul Bunyan is a monster horror movie. The movie starts with it being back in the day, like before the 1900s, they don't really say, and it's these group of people who are preparing for the long winter. And you notice that they're eating this giant ox. Well, a couple minutes later, they're all brutally murdered. And it's Paul Bunyan. It was Paul Bunyan's ox, so he's getting his revenge. Psoom! Fast forward, it's the 2000s, and this group of kids, well, not just kids, but criminals, are basically going out to the woods to get a chance to stay out of jail. And if they basically complete this rehabilitation out in these woods by this hard-ass sergeant cop guy, they basically, it's like a get out of jail free card. Well, the group of people, they're in the woods, and this sergeant guy is just pushing them to their limits, being a hard ass on them. And while taking this hike, one of the guys finds this ox head, and he ends up taking one of the horns because he has a smart idea. Hey, I could use one of these horns and make a bong out of it. He doesn't want to be there, so he's also kind of making the best of a bad situation. But yeah, nonetheless, he takes the horn, and it turns out that that was actually the shrine of Paul Bunyan's ox that got murdered all those years ago. And Paul Bunyan is way, way, way bigger than he was. And now he's pissed off, and he wants the horn back because the ox was Paul Bunyan's only friend, his best friend, and it's super important to him. So he goes after the group of people and just starts killing them one by one. Also, you find out that one of the criminal people is a spitting image of Paul Bunyan's love interest from his younger days, and that plays a part in the story. And yeah, that's basically the plot. So my review of Axe Giant, The Wrath of Paul Bunyan. Well, to my surprise, this movie started pretty well. I actually was enjoying it. It looked like the practical effects mixed with the kinda spotty CGI wasn't bad. It seemed bloody, brutal in the beginning when Paul Bunyan kills the first people, and everything's going good. You get to the sergeant with the criminals, and it's good dialogue. The humor's pretty funny. There's this one part where there's nudity that was pretty nice, and the movie just seems like it's pretty good. Then they take the horn, and it's not bad. There's a couple kills that are still pretty good. But then they get to the cabin, and you get the Paul Bunyan backstory, and holy shit, the movie massively declines. What was not the best movie, but not nowhere near the worst movie, just goes straight down the shitter. And I mean, from just some of the worst CGI you'll ever see to just the story got way worse, the acting got way worse. I think it's because they killed off the better actors. Just because how they was kind of making Paul Bunyan looked big was like good camera work, and it's almost like they just threw that out the window. It's almost as if they spent their whole budget in the beginning of the movie and ran out of money and panicked. I mean, there was this part, and this is when it really got bad, like I said, with the backstory, and they show the CGI ox. Oh my god, that was so bad. And then the kills wasn't even bad. And then there's the one part where he's picking the lady up from the house and throws her into the tree. The CGI on that was so bad. Easily what they needed to do 100% was cut the CGI out of this movie. The fact that they paid somebody money to make that definitely hurt them, because that's money you could have put in other aspects of the movie. and it was just bad. Very, very bad. Yeah, it's just the main point of this movie was it wasn't the best or worst movie, but then it gets to a point where it just continually gets worse and worse and worse. It sucks. So, with that, my recommendation for Axe Giant, The Wrath of Paul Bunyan, man, what maybe could have been a kind of recommended movie slowly slipped into not recommended. And I have some halfway decent movies and not recommended, so this is probably a skip. The beginning of the movie was good, but the end was so bad. I mean, it's it's either a not recommended or skip, but I'm thinking skip.